Welcome
All right,
back.
yeah, let's do that.
Welcome back to Dudes on Dudes Fighting with RJ and Stu. I'm RJ, and this is my co-host Stu.
Hello, everybody. I just want to start this podcast, which isn't a podcast, and I always call it a podcast. It's a YouTube show, by thanking our first commenter. I think he called us a homo, and very much appreciated. As long as you're listening, your opinions are welcome with me.
Being called a homo for like the 400 millionth time in my life, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take homo over no comment any day.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was the one who hit us with the thumbs down too.
He might have. I think if you have the nerve to just call someone a homo on YouTube, you probably have thumbs down a few videos in your life.
Well, shout out to him because it like definitely made our day opposed to hurting our feelings.
It definitely made our day. People are watching. We're up to
Do you
like
think
50 or something views. Like, that's sick.
75 on the last one.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
we're crushing it.
Luke Thomas numbers.
Yeah, fucking Luke Thomas probably hanging out in a goddamn sweater like Luke Rockhold, looking like Cosby, sounding like Cosby.
Fucking Cosby sweater wearing Luke Thomas.
I hate both those guys.
Yeah.
Cosby too. I hate Luke Thomas number 1, Cosby number 2, and then Rockhold number 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you up on that ranking. I'm with you.
I hate Luke Thomas. I hate Bill Cosby. Yo, do you think that the homo comment came because like this could be taken as a podcast done by two gay men because it's called Dudes on Dudes?
It might be, but I also feel like last week's episode was the least gay out of all of our episodes. Like, we barely talked about abs or like family stuff or anything.
Yeah, that guy's really got to listen back and get into the real.
Yeah. You can apply that comment to an earlier video, sir.
Yeah, imagine the homophobic slurs he could hit us with on those first 3 episodes. Woo! All right, let's get into some business.
Yeah, so UFC Fight Night from China just wrapped up this weekend, and that was a rare card I got to watch live, not hindered by staying up all night, because I'm watching from Europe. So it was on at like 2 in the afternoon here. It was pretty great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that you finally got to watch something without like falling asleep during it.
Or having like a couple of the UFCs over the last few months, like I'll go to sleep at like 10 p.m. time here and set an alarm for 3 in the morning and get up again. And that's okay, but it's like you wake up and you're like fucking tired and you're just watching it like alone in the fucking middle of the night. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, you want to watch it when you feel like you should be watching it. I watched it at 6 a.m. here before I went to. I was working on the weekend and I watched it before work, and it put me in a pretty good mood to go into work. So I'm down for those China cards too.
Yeah, we were pretty good on the predictions too. Li Jingliang and Song Yadong both picking up wins on the start of the main card, I guess. This was a short card.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it was a short card.
Yeah, 4-fight card's pretty sweet.
I mean, yeah, if they're going to be putting out a card every 30 seconds, they might as well make them short and sweet.
Put out a fight every day. Just one fight.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so sick. Just like a half an hour episode, like there's a bit of build up before, and then, that'd be so cool. At like 6 o'clock when you get off work.
Yeah. Just a little dinner and a show.
Well, yeah, a little dinner and a show, a TV dinner and a show. Some fucking Swanson's fried chicken and a good old battle.
Did you have any
Um,
takeaways from either Song Yadong or Li Jingling besides their sweet names?
I kind of was banking on that Jingalang knockout, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, yeah, he got that right at the end. About
And
what,
then
like a
to be
minute left?
honest, yeah, and to be honest with you, like the what is it, Yadong?
Yeah, Yadong,
He
big dong buddy.
that was just a great pick based on a great name, Song Yadong.
He had some abs on him though. It wasn't just name based.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a little bit of abs, little guy abs.
Yeah, I don't know much about his family life, but China's a wild card. Like, if
Yeah.
has an announced family, like there might be some unofficial abandoned daughters first that we just never hear about.
I don't know. I love how much China loves fighting because the ridiculous shit that they watch on TV over there, it's just like fighting is not that bad compared to like some of the like television that comes out of Asia. It's like fighting is like kind of like on a on like a pretty everyone rated level.
Yeah, there's
Fuck,
no like
that took me forever
weapons
to
or
get it.
costumes or like musical chair style. Like when the music's going, you got to do something and it stops, and you got to like eat something real gross real quick.
Sketchiest game shows come out of Asia.
Yeah,
And they used to come on New Year's Eve here in Canada, and me and my dad would stay up watching them. And it was like the most horrible shit, and it would just crack us up every time. It was just like my dad would just be like, "It's New Year's Eve, all right, I'll let you watch some like pretty hectic shit."
wild
So
Chinese game shows.
speaking of which, my dad made me mention that all of his picks are right
Yeah,
because
right.
he's Scottish and he has dad jokes. So whenever a fight ends, he just comes in, he flicks to it and goes, "Hey, my guy won." Like that's his whole thing. Like he just is like, "Oh, that's who I was cheering for," and it's just like the dad joke of the century. But totally respect it.
He just hits it like 5 times over the course of the whole card. It's not like the end of a hockey game or something. Like, oh yeah, yeah, I was pulling for them the whole time. He can just
No,
like rifle them off.
yeah. His predictions are fucking. He's never been wrong.
He's never been wrong.
All right. Well, I mean that there's not much I can really say about those two first fights. I kind of hopped on a bit later, seeing as it was at 6 a.m. here. But love seeing Jangalang get that knockout. He's gonna make some waves, man, and especially with him promoting to the Chinese market a lot more. Like I think we're gonna hear a lot more out of him. Um, and Song Dong, he's got 13 wins now, so he's trekking along.
That's way more than Chris Weidman.
I think Chris Weidman has 13 wins.
Really?
I could be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure his record is 13 and something.
Wow.
Like I don't even think he has that many fights because he's fucking trash.
I think his record's like 13-7 or something. Like it's
uh,
close to a
I
50-50.
I don't think it's that bad. I like to think it is as well, but I don't think it's as bad as it actually. I'm looking it up right now. Chris Weidman record. He's 14-4-0.
Okay, that's not
How did
horrible.
It's not horrible, but I feel like that's not enough fights to have been a world champion.
Yeah,
Especially because he's lost his last, what, two?
5.
Yeah, he's lost more than's actually on his record.
He basically went 8-0, got a title shot, won
They wiped
one
his record
legitimate
clean.
fight and then a couple flukes and then just losses since then.
Yeah. So what's your take on the Alistair versus Sergey Pavlov?
I was pretty pumped to see Alistair back.
He looked
announced
good
in his post-fight, the Reem is back.
Yeah, except for he's not the Reem anymore.
No.
He's the Demolition
Man.
But no, yeah, it was great to see Alistair. He's changed camp. He's actually training with Blades too. Unfortunately, we'll get to that. But yeah, I thought Alistair was from the Netherlands.
He is, isn't he?
It says this UFC fucking website is so shit. It says he's from England.
Yeah, I don't think that's right at all.
I'm like 100% sure.
He's definitely Dutch, but I don't know if maybe he was born in England or something.
Mm-hmm. But what a way to wake up! Fucking 2 heavyweight knockouts back to back.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get much better than that. And it's good to see Alistair back in the winning category, especially against a guy that, like, obviously the UFC was going to try and build up. He's I don't know why I struggle with this name, Sergey.
Yeah.
He's actually from Eagle MMA.
Okay.
So,
and he was undefeated up until now.
Not anymore.
The
Demolition Man got a hold of that.
The Reem.
Ayo.
I think Chis Weidman would love to be a heavyweight. Because heavyweight's the only division where you can get one win and be, like, in the top 5. Like, it's such a fucking no man's land of, like, legitimate contenders.
Yeah, he definitely would fit in, especially because all the heavyweights, as much as like I love watching their fights, they are the biggest babies. Like, like they always like want the rematch, or there's always a fucking reason why they lost. Like, you never see a heavyweight do like a type press conference after where he's like, I just went out there, I lost, I didn't put it together. Like, you know how Dom came out after he lost to Cody?
Act.
No, you don't see heavyweights doing that shit. They're just like, fuck, like I bad training camp, or I was sick, or
I made a mistake. I didn't, move my head enough. It's always
he caught me with a lucky shot. Yeah.
He's the better man tonight, but. Yeah, I'm just channeling
and it's because
like
they know
and like, all these things.
Yeah, I know.
I love Steve, but like he's that guy.
Same, but yeah, definitely. Like, he should take, if he's so confident that he should be the champ, just take one more fight.
Yeah,
like, fucking take Francis. Like, again, if you're so confident,
and to like just. Constantly falling back on like he's the longest winning streak in heavyweight history, but like the winning streak is 3, dude. Like, shut up. Like, that doesn't make you sound badass.
Mighty Mouse Tom John.
Mighty Mouse does that every year. 3 wins in a row. Like 3. It just shows how weak the division is, not how dominant you were.
Aldo did that for 10 years.
Yeah, Anderson Silva, GSP, like John Jones.
Yeah.
All these guys.
Fuck, man.
Like
I really was like, at first I was like, just because I'm such a Stipe fan, I love that he's a firefighter, great dad, fucking wears the hat backwards a little bit to the side, like he's a bad kid in class. Like, appreciate all that stuff. But then, like, I just the whining, man, the constant whine, like, leave that up to us.
Yeah.
Like, leave that up to me and you. We do the whining. We'll whine about fucking Luke Rockhold's rapey sweater, but come on, Stipe, you're bigger than that. You're smarter than that.
You have a little boy at home that you have to be a role model to. Don't be like Chis Weidman's kids.
It's a little girl.
Whatever it is. You have to be a role model. You can't
Yeah,
grow them up to be little Weidmans.
yeah. If it was 4 wins, it would be different. Three, or is it four or is it
It's
three?
3. Yeah, it's not even 4.
Yeah, if it was four, and you didn't get starched by a guy like 6 inches shorter than you, then a
Way
6 inches
shorter and
shorter than you is a
fatter.
wrestler.
In the first round. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Stipe. We
Sorry,
still love you,
sorry,
buddy.
buddy. But I think you
We
need
just
to
want to
fight
see.
somebody else and then wait your turn. And that's one thing that like also bugs me about UFC dudes that are always like whining for title shots. Is like they get paid so much money. They're like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't you want to fight again? Like I get like, oh, if he fights DC, that's gonna be like a huge payday. But
yeah,
like I guess I just come from the type of upbringing where like I just don't come from that kind of money. So it's like, okay, you can either get paid 800 grand maybe, or for sure you can
yeah,
make 300 if you just fight Ngannou or you fight Blades or you fight Ponzinibbio. Like there's so many other guys that you can for sure make $300,000 in one night. But you're gonna like not
yeah,
fight for an entire year and just wait for an $800,000 paycheck. But it's like
it-
win your 300,000 fight and then you get the next one guaranteed. Like it doesn't make sense to
yeah,
just sit out all year.
yeah. Well, and especially in the heavyweight division,
Yeah.
like it's a bit different for guys like Tony Ferguson, and Tony Ferguson is even taking that like a champ and taking fights. Like, if there's anybody who deserves to sit out and wait
Mm.
around for a title fight, it's Tony Ferguson, who got fucked over out of his
Yeah.
title because he slipped on a cord doing work for the UFC.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh no, you can't have your belt anymore that you just fucking steamrolled everybody through to get. And then you got guys who fucking go on a couple fight winning streak, and then they deserve it more than anybody else. It's just like this new UFC over the last year and a half, everybody's complaining. And like, I want to see these guys make millions. I want to see them make LeBron. I want everybody to make as much money as Connor. I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just like, not everybody's Connor. So if you keep fighting, the money's gonna come. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the way that the sport's being brought up and ESPN's on board, the money is gonna come. It's just like, you guys constantly whining about it isn't gonna
Yeah.
do anything. Like, and then like,
Well, that's why everybody
they
loves
couldn't
someone
even
like
fucking
Cowboy.
get their union to.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's never.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's why Cowboy makes the good money that he makes, though. Because he fucking shuts up and he goes out there and he fights anybody anytime
Yeah.
and does a bunch of other crazy shit too.
Yeah.
And awesome father.
Awesome father. And great
Yeah.
grandson. He makes
Oh,
grandma
man.
so proud he fights every
Oh,
6
yeah.
weeks. Like he's got a proud
After
grandma.
that big fight, he's helping her out of the cage and everything
yeah.
too. Like, oh man, shout out to Cowboy and his whole family.
Yeah.
We're always gonna be Cowboy fans here.
Oh,
I'd
big
love to
time.
see you. I'd love to see Cowboy go out there and beat the shit out of Weidman for us.
He could do it. Weidman
Yeah,
would,
he's just
like,
got to put on a couple lbs,
I think, yeah. Weidman
a couple
is probably
stones.
going to go up to light heavyweight because he thinks that it's a faster track to a title. But he should just retire.
Yeah, but
his glory
he's
days
gonna
are
get
kind of.
he would get annihilated by John Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Annihilated. Like, that would be
Annihilated.
how he would be retired, because he'd have to start eating things through a straw after he felt by fucking John Jones. All right, we said we were gonna try and take it a bit easier on Chris Weidman.
One more thing about Weidman, though. Like, I never really heard him talk before he was a fighter, but he sounds pretty fucking dumb. Like, I wonder if that's CTE already.
Yeah, I sound pretty fucking dumb though too, man.
Yeah.
I listen to these podcasts and
You
I
got
was like,
that
God
surfer
damn it,
accent.
man. I know, I hate it. I don't know why I sound like this. It's fucking stupid. And I heard heard you mocking me on your fucking podcast. I might sound like a bit like a stoner, but I don't sound like fucking Brandon Dassey. Like you made me sound. I'm not waiting for. I'm not waiting for fucking WrestleMania.
I'm waiting for UFC to eat some curly fries.
I don't know, maybe a cheeseburger and some curly fries. Like I'm pretty sure you can get that in jail.
I don't know. Dassey probably doesn't know how to ask.
Well, he got a shot for having too many pieces of French toast, so he definitely knows how to.
Fucking Dassey. Just making himself.
Anyways, that's for a different day. Let's move on to the Predator and the Razor.
Razor Blades. That's such a heartbreaker for Curtis the Razor Blades. Like, think of how long it takes to get to fucking China. Like, that had to be like a 3-day air flight.
Oh, I know. And
literally halfway across the world, he gets his big redemption, and he gets knocked out in 45 seconds.
I know. And especially, like, if anybody's, like, fought their way to get a title shot in the heavyweight division, it's him. He's 10-1. Like, his only other loss was to Francis. So, I mean, he was just there. So now he's got to fight at least 2 more. Like, the thing is, if it was a different guy who lost that fight, they'd maybe one more fight and they're getting a title shot. But because he's a wrestler, he's got to probably fight at least 2 more to get up to the upper echelon again. I guess there's only like 6 guys.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even know how you like pick who's the upper echelon, because everyone in the top 5 is like 2 for 5. Like, no one's on a run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, except for DC.
DC's the only one, and he's technically only got 2 wins at heavyweight now. That's
Yeah, but he's undefeated at
heavyweight. Stipe Miocic numbers. Fucking 2 wins.
Yeah. Oh, man. But everybody, that's why you love the heavyweight division, though, because it's always a flip of the coin. Like, it's like you never know who's going to fucking take it. But, I mean, we were talking about this last week, but Francis in his, that 2-minute build-up promotion said that he was the better on the ground. I guess we didn't get to see that because he starched him in 45 seconds.
But even the knockout wasn't the most like beautiful. It's not like when he knocked out Overeem a year ago. That was like a Street Fighter 2 uppercut. Like, he kind of just hit him in the back of the head. Blades went down, and he was out. But it could have been like, I don't think it was an early stoppage. It was a good stoppage, but it's not like he flatlined him or anything. Like, Blades got up right away and was just like, fuck me. Like, I came all the way to goddamn China, and it's over just like that.
If you let it go for 3 more seconds, too,
Francis would have killed him.
Yeah.
Because he is a superior ground fighter.
I really, like, I was calling for the stoppage. Like, I didn't want to see him like, he's a young guy. He'll be back. He doesn't need to take that damage from fucking the hardest hitting guy in the whole fucking UFC. So, you'll be back, Razor Blades. You'll be back.
He'll be back. He could fight Overeem, maybe.
So what do you think they do with Francis now? Because he had that setback when he fought My Balls Are Hot Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And so where do you think he is now? Do you think him and Stipe should go at it again?
I think it's too soon for that. But, like, maybe that's a segue to next week's card. There's a bunch of heavyweight fights.
I know. I was thinking about that, but I know we're getting to that later. So maybe we keep in mind where Francis goes, and then once we talk about next week's card, we'll see where Francis falls in line.
Yeah, well, even just timing-wise, like, Francis just fought on Saturday, and there's going to be
Yeah.
4 more big heavyweights fighting this Saturday, so give them, the winners of each main event like 4 months, and they can kick it off again in February or early March.
Yeah, that's awesome though, because it seemed like there hadn't been a lot of heavyweight fights recently, and now it's like there's a lot of them coming up,
Yeah.
and fucking like, especially like being so excited for Francis versus Lewis a while ago. Like, I was so excited for that fight, and it being a stinker. Every heavyweight fight since then has been awesome.
Yeah.
Or at least like a dope knockout or something.
I'll be the first one to rag on this UFC website and rag on the multiple title fights. But I think I got to give a little bit of credit to matchmaker Sean Shelby, because this seems like it was planned out. Like, we're going to have Stipe and DC fight in the summer, and it's going to fuck up the whole division. So we're going to let both light heavyweight and heavyweights just fucking chill for like 4 months. And it seems like this month, like November, is when those divisions are kicking off again, and we're kind of seeing some contenders.
And I think that, like, with everything being so fucked up, like, they know what they're going to do because they're going to try and give DC that one big fight. But underneath it, they're really figuring everything out in all the divisions. Because if you look at, like, the card a couple weeks ago, it had, like, all the 185ers on it. And, like, with Stylebender and Brunson, and, like, it had all those 185ers on there to kind of figure out where everybody stood. And then now they're doing it with the heavyweights, and it's just like, the fact that they have the opportunity to put all these fight cards together, I think they're actually preparing themselves to have a little bit more of a better system once ESPN takes over.
Right. I hope
because,
so.
Because, like if you think about it, there's nothing but good fights to be made next year.
Yeah.
Because everybody good has just fought, like, recently or is coming back soon. So it's like early 2019 is going to be fucking sick.
Well, they started announcing some cards already this week, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva and Stylebender looks like that's going to happen.
Ooh, and, yeah.
Dillashaw and what's his name got announced today also. What, right?
Yep. No, that's been announced for a while, actually.
I just saw it today.
Yeah. Dillashaw is going to try and win that 125-pound title, and then they're just going to end the division.
Yeah.
And Ray Borg's moving up to 135. I heard him on Ariel's podcast. Man, he's having a rough go. If you guys want to hear it, like, almost cry, like, go listen to him on Ariel's podcast from, like, I think it was last week's episode. It is a rough fucking time. So, like, I know, like, before I'd kind of joked on Ray Borg, but about, like, just missing weight and, like, dropping out of fights, but, like, I gotta give him a pass.
I'll give him a pass because, like, he's going through some hard times, but we can't forget that dolly accidentally hit the window and took out his eye. Like,
yeah,
at the end of
but
the
nobody could have known that. Like, I mean, you accidentally get a dolly in your hand and then it slips out. It hits a window. It could have happened to anybody. It's not Connor's fault. It's not his fault for getting the glass in his eye. It's nobody's fault, really.
It's kind of Ray Borg's glasses' fault for not protecting him from, like, flying glass and debris.
All right, let's move on from that. Very fucking poor Ray Borg. Shout out to him. And to close that out, fucking, that was awesome. I can't wait for more China cards, and keeping them to 4 fights like that is, like, perfect for the morning for me. So, UFC, you're blowing it with your website,
sucks.
But you're giving us something to talk about. So,
Hi, my
Good
name is
job,
the
boys.
UFC website, and I do not load at all properly. Everything's all jumbled to shit,
No, I
and I
know.
don't I don't show nicknames anymore.
As soon as we start like skipping to, I know like in a minute or two that we're going to be talking about the next card, I have to click over because I know the shitty website's going to take forever to load. So I like give it like a couple minute heads up, like, hey, I'm coming. UFC Fight Night, to how do you say this guy? Dos Santos versus Tuivasa.
Tuivasa.
Okay, because he's sick.
He's the sickest.
I've watched his fights. Like, speaking of heavyweights that like are up and coming that are gonna be in that title shot soon. Like, oh fuck yeah! But we'll get to that.
We can talk about him real quick off the get, just because I have never
all
seen, the shoey or any of that shit before. I'd never heard of it. Like, we both know Australia's a weird place. And you hear all these things and you think it's not real. But maybe a month ago, I was hanging out with these Australian dudes at a hostel here in Romania, and I asked them about the shoey, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And because I asked, like, they're like, we have to do them. I was like, I'm not fucking doing a shoey. So I thankfully, like, got out of it. But it's like, oh, if you ask, pussy, you have to do it. I'm not drinking out of some random fucking dude's shoe in a hostel.
Oh, you can't do it out of your own shoe?
No, you have to trade shoes. Like, that's the point. Yeah, it's fucking gross. And you spit in each other's shoe also. And then it's like, now I have to put this soaking wet fucking shoe back on? Like, this is such an Australian thing.
Yeah, that's the worst game ever.
Yeah.
Actually, the worst game ever is that game that you inquired about last week. So I did some digging about that research. Game.
Does it have a name?
Yeah. And, I don't know, but it wasn't. So let me tell the story. So it wasn't my direct friends who were involved. It
allegedly.
Was allegedly, like it was the brothers of them. And so what my buddy tells me is that all these men, all guys, so it's guy on guy crime. So buddy who called us a homo. Here you go. If you pass out at a party and your buddy gives you a hickey on the neck while you're sleeping, that makes you gay until you get someone else back and make them gay.
That is the best game I've ever heard of my life.
I don't know how these guys came up with it. I'm pretty sure it's highly illegal, but I mean, if they all agree to it and it's consent, like I don't want to play, but I mean, I'd watch.
It's just like a frat boy, like weird STD style game. Like you just want to pass it off to somebody else. I don't know. It's hilarious though.
It's just funny that just like the ultimate bummer is that like that they're gay because they have a hickey.
You wake up gay.
Imagine walking around fucking having to explain how you got a hickey on your neck, or like imagine one of those guys going home to their girlfriends.
I'm pretty sure that's how I heard of the story, was one of the alleged brothers involved in this like spent the night on my couch one time, and then in the morning.
Oh, so this happened at your house?
I think one round of it happened at my house.
You know as much about this game as I do.
Well, it happened like 5 years ago. I was struggling to remember as it came to me, and you shot it down so quick that I thought like, oh, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But I do remember, because I didn't witness the game being played, but I remember the next morning him sitting at the kitchen table having to phone his girlfriend and saying that he lost and to not,
And he was gay?
Yeah, but like he's, giving her the heads up, like this is not a hickey from a girl. Like we were playing the game last night and I lost.
I think that
And
if
just
they're
hearing-
playing this game, they have to just call their girlfriend and go, "Yo, I'm gay."
Just like hearing
That's
just
it.
his side of the conversation was just one of the funniest things ever. Because I'm trying not to laugh or anything. Like, I'm just like making coffee for like a bunch of dudes that spent the night on the floor, trying to explain to his girlfriend that he lost and he didn't know who made him gay or whatever it was.
He didn't know who made him gay. All he knows is he's got a hickey and he's gay now.
What a game!
Shout out to that and it being called a game. Because that's fucking so
hilarious.
hectic.
It is so funny. I want to continue that game on my travels, but I don't have any friends good enough to do that with to not consider it rape.
I think you gotta be real bros
You
to
gotta be
fucking play
pretty-
that game. I don't like pass out places, so like I don't know. We have a friend, let's just call him NPH, who's the ultimate pass out artist, and I wonder if he would be the perfect victim for that game because that dude, I've seen people stack mattresses on him and
Wow.
him not wake up. It used to be called, I don't want to say his we'll call it NPH Jenga. And one time they stacked a hockey net and all this shit all the way to the ceiling of my tall friend's garage, and he didn't wake up. Like, I was so worried that they were like break his back because there was so much heavy shit on top of him. Meanwhile, he's just getting a sick fucking pump in while he's passed out.
Yeah, every breath he takes is just lifting a mountain.
It could be his last. All right, let's get into this card.
You want to talk about Jake Matthews and Tony Martin?
Yeah, sure. I don't know much about these guys, if anything.
I'm trying to.
Is that the tough? Like, I haven't watched.
No, we're not covering that one.
No,
Yeah, fuck that one.
Okay.
I like the main
Yeah.
event. I love Dos Anjos, but every other fight on that card is Ultimate Fighter, and I didn't even know there was a new season of that show.
Yeah, me either. I had no idea. Who were even the coaches?
I guess Dos Anjos. Like, maybe it was a Brazil one.
Okay. Oh, okay. So those guys are probably the coaches, both of them.
I think. That's how they
Maybe I'll
used
go
to
back
do.
and watch it. I do like that show.
I
It's
do
just
love
like,
it. I honestly didn't
it's-
know it was on, though.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so back to my fucking my Stipe style complaint.
Yeah.
There's 2 cards this weekend that we're talking about that haven't been mentioned on the UFC app at all on the Apple TV. Like,
Yeah.
there's 0 promotion so far for 2 fucking pretty decent headlining cards.
Oh,
you know?
This other UFC Fight Night 142 is friggin' sick. That comes from Australia, I guess Sunday morning. But yeah, same
Whoa.
deal. I was just like doing a quick look, like, oh, what can we talk about on our show this week? And it's like, oh, not only is there a UFC, there is 2 UFCs. Like, damn.
So let's just fire through we'll go through Matthews, Martin, then we'll go through Rua and Pedro, and we'll just do our picks on those ones unless you want to dive deeper into it.
No.
I don't know much about these guys. I'm going with Jake Matthews, the Celtic kid, because Glasgow Celtic is my favorite soccer team ever, and I just assume that even though he's from Australia, he's got Catholic Scottish blood in him.
Yeah, I'm also agreeing with you on Jake Matthews. He's got a nickname that's cool. He's got abs. And he looks like he'd make a great dad.
Yeah, and Tony Martin looks a bit suspect.
Yeah, he looks like he'd lose at that game that we just mentioned on purpose every night.
He did lose at that game. And he's going to lose that fight. All right, Tyson Pedro versus Mauricio. What is it? Mauricio Rua. Oh.
Shogun.
It's Shogun. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm an idiot.
Mauricio.
Well, we got to go with Shogun on this one, right?
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta
actually,
pick Shogun.
you got to pick Shogun, but I think he's going to lose.
He was so close to a title shot this year. Like, it is crazy how he is still relevant. Like, coming from the
He's
like
been
former Pride
around
champion in like 2006, and just kind of hasn't gone away yet.
25, 11, and 0. Fuck.
Yeah,
And we got 7 and 1. But the fucking Tyson Pedro's fit as a fiddle, buddy.
he looks good.
They all these Australian guys have that same like tribal on their like hip there, eh?
Yeah. Hide the love handle.
Yeah, we gotta go with good old Shogun on this one. Fucking dad bod looking great.
Yeah. Shogun has some like pretty sweet tattoos on the insides of his biceps. And I remember being like in high school, just a wee boy, and thinking like, oh, that'd be really cool to just get tattoos on the insides of your arm. Because it's pretty much like the opposite of what everyone else does. Like, super only visible when he wins and has his hands above his head. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Like Bisbing?
Yeah, always back to Bisbing.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners. I just had a huge piece of ice in my mouth. And not ice as in meth, like the water kind. All right, we got fucking our boy Mark Hunt versus Justin Willis. Big Pretty versus Super Samoan. I like both these guys.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Mark Hunt fan. I think it's gonna be a fucking slugfest.
Yeah.
Both of them have 0% submissions.
Both have 0% sit-ups.
Lower, yeah. This is the fucking the body fight. Mark Hunt just like he gets a couple wins and then takes a loss, and then like he gets a couple wins and then people start whispering about like, oh, maybe one or two more and he's back in title fucking fight zone because it's a heavyweight division like we talked about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Mark Hunt. Lots of personality, talks a lot of shit, swears so much, but still a great dad.
Oh, he's the
if
best
you've
dad.
watched,
yeah,
if you've watched any of his embeddeds, he's a real fun hang out with dad type guy, kind of like my own. So I gotta go with good dad Mark Hunt. I don't know much about Big Pretty's fathership skills, but he definitely has a good dad face to him, kind of like DC.
Yeah, he looks really
Just
young
like
too.
Yeah,
Big Pretty's got a cooler name. I have to say that. Big Pretty's cooler. Neither have anything close to an ab. But Mark Hunt's taking the dad card on this one for me.
Mark Hunt has to fucking win this one to go above 500. He's 13 and 1.
Fucking.
All right.
He also always says he's retiring too, which is always bums me out when he's like, yeah, probably one more and I'm retiring. And then, he seems to fight more often than Cowboy Cerrone.
Dude, he fights so much, and he legit, like, they had to take him off of a fight because he was slurring his words. Because he does not play anything except for, like, let's just take these to the face and fucking try and deliver them, too. So, fuck yeah, Mark Hunt. Get her done.
Okay, so we're in the main event now of Junior Dos Santos and Tuivasa.
Ooh, great fight here, man.
Cigano versus Bam Bam.
You can never count JDS out.
You can't. He's got a huge, weird baby head, though.
Yeah, but he's a great dad.
Yeah.
Great dad, man. New father, loving wife. Not much abs on him.
No, neither guy. But Tuivasa, like you said, has those Australian hip tattoos. Oh, another
I'm
funny
kind of.
Australian story. The same Australian guy I was hanging out with that night that wanted me to do a shoey, and I refused. Introduced me to an Australian invention called a goon sack. Are you familiar?
No, but I fucking love goons and I love sacks.
Well, you're gonna love the goon sack. So we go to the convenience store and buy a box of wine each, and then you take the
You're
like.
really into this whole fucking box of wine thing
Well, it's
recently,
after
eh?
this guy, man. He got me on the goon sack. So you buy the box of wine and then you like rip the cardboard off and throw it, and then you just carry around this bladder of wine with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And then you can just like hold it under your arm and pour drinks in your mouth. And it lasts for like 4 days. It's like Halloween candy after Halloween. Like you just carry it everywhere.
My tall friend, who we talk about quite a bit, has been
Yeah.
doing that since like the 9th grade.
He's on the goon sack, boy.
Dude, he used to call me on Sundays and like the beer store and the liquor store are only open till 5, but the wine rack would be open till 6. So he'd wake up like super late in the afternoon just to like make it to get a goon sack, and that's him and his girlfriend would sit around and watch Survivor and crush goon sacks on every Sunday. But he would just make it to the wine rack to get the goon sack. I love this goon sack
It's a
thing. I can't
fucking
wait to
perfect
tell him.
name. Yeah, he's gonna love that name.
Do you ever like it's like having one of those you know those water backpacks that like
Yeah.
bicycle riders
Yes,
wear?
exactly. It's just way less classy than that.
Yeah.
And
You know if someone's pulling up with a goon sack that they are gonna be a goon sack
yeah.
later.
And my Australian buddy, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't been to that level, but he says if you go
Mm-hmm.
like 3/4 into that goon sack and you're like,
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I dropped out for a second. I had to get a goon
I
sack.
had to get the goon sack. It's no
Imagine
problem.
that was like an hour delay and I actually ran out and
Just
got a
ran out
goon
and
sack.
grabbed. So to wrap up the goon sack, oh yeah, he said you can use the goon sack as a pillow to lay down with at night. You know? It's like a little waterbed for your head.
Australians are the most underrated, crazy fucking people in the world. Like, they do not get enough credit for how nuts for butts they are.
They're
They're
fucking so cool.
absolutely. I've never met an Australian I didn't like.
No, they're cool people.
Yeah, they're just like they're real laughers too, eh? Like you
Yeah.
can always get a good laugh going on with an Aussie. And they're some of the silliest fucking people. Like Simon Kirkland's from New Zealand. Oh shit, I said a
Wow.
name. And
Allegedly.
he is a wild guy. I'm
He's a
not gonna get
fucking cool guy.
into any. Yeah, I love Simon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into any stories because I said his government name on here. But maybe I'll give him a code name and we can mention some stories next week. Because he's been sending me some wild text messages recently that it's great. he's having fun. I'm in a group chat with 3 other of our friends, and it's just like pure nonsense. It's just like there was a GIF that was sent with a chubby guy passed out one way, and he had tighty whities on, and the other guy passed out with his face out inside of the guy with tighty whities on tighty whities. So it was just his head inside the tighty whities, like he was wearing a mask, and they were both laying in the forest sleeping. This is a picture that let's just call him Simon Cockring sent me. So yeah, pretty wild stuff out of New Zealand and Australia. And remember we used to go to this bar called the Olive, and they had these things called teapots that you just filled up with booze, and it was just a bunch of different types of liquor, and then like you take and you just it's in a teapot and you share it with a friend and you just go shot for shot all night, and they were only like they were cheaper than a pitcher
maybe?
of beer. Yeah.
They're
And
just a
oh
mystery
my
box.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had all sorts of dirty names for them too. Like, what was the one's name? The one that I remember the best is, your friend. Well, let's say,
Yeah, hit me with a code name.
Foreskin.
Yeah.
He's a pitcher on your baseball team.
Yeah, the forehead.
The last time I saw him before he got banned from the Olive for life, there was a picture of him behind the bar that said, "Do not let this man enter." It was, he walked up to my table, took a shot of our teapot, goes, "Ooh, Midnight Caterpillar," and he knew which one it was, and then next thing I knew, he broke a fence outside, and I'm pretty sure he was never allowed back. But just walking up, not knowing, because there's so many different combinations of teapots, but he took the shot, goes, "Ooh, Midnight Caterpillar." So now whenever I get excited or take a shot, I always mention the great Uncle Foreskin.
And it may not sound like a big deal to be banned from a bar, because I'm banned from 25 countries right now. Being banned from something's not a big deal. But the owner of this bar let us get away with murder. And to the point that he himself, the owner of this bar, allegedly got a DUI across the street because he passed out while ordering food in the McDonald's drive-thru. So it's that level of the bar owner is that despicable of a human that he had the gall to ban one of my good friends for life for allegedly breaking a fence and other things.
Were you there the last night?
I think I was. Because I had moved away by then, but I'm pretty sure I came back for
it was the craziest night because they were changing the name of the bar, but they were gonna open it. But they just didn't want it to be that place was a nice restaurant before your group of friends started hanging out there.
Yeah,
and then we caught wind that you guys were over there drinking $10 pitchers of Pabst Blue Ribbon. So we got over there with you guys, and then it just turned into a complete fucking madhouse. And it was the best because every other bar in town just has a bunch of jocks looking for a fight every night. Over there, it was just our group of people just drinking teapots. Everybody was friends. Yeah. We were friends with the bartenders. It was if you guys had a party, you guys would invite the bartenders. It was
a sick spot.
It was a great place.
Yeah.
So but the teapots were a New Zealand thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
From that old bartender, we won't mention her name either because we'll leave her name out. She's as innocent as they get. So
we've said too many names already on this show.
Yeah, we're gonna get some backlash from our friends.
Speaking of backlash from our friends, I mentioned to our other friend that you outed last week about not going to college. And
BH?
Yeah. We were chatting this week. He was sending in some questions from my other podcast. And he said to expect revenge.
Oh, no. That wasn't a malicious thing. That was everybody knows that story.
Well, not all 75 of our listeners.
Does he have a podcast?
No, but I don't know. That's why it was intriguing that he said for you to expect some revenge.
Oh, man. Fuck. I better call him, man.
He's a fucking man, though. Shout out to that guy.
I fucking love BH, man. He's one of my best friends. So I hope I can smooth this over before he outs me for doing something stupid on the internet. God damn it! I didn't think about this before I started a YouTube show with you. That putting other people's dirty laundry out on there could potentially come back to haunt me. Fuck. I forget that it's just me and you. It's not just me and you having a conversation. It's like people are supposed to listen to this. So who you got in this one though?
I like the Australian.
Oh, yeah, I
Tuivasa.
gotta go with Bam Bam. I love an undefeated record, and he's a wild ass dude.
I think it's just he's so young and he's on his way up, and like Junior, his time has passed. Yeah, like he's just old now, and heavyweight division, like these guys kind of cling around forever. Like I'm pretty sure Andrei Arlovski's still relevant, which is fucking crazy.
No,
like,
I know.
He was a champion in like UFC 60 or something. Like it was so long ago.
It wasn't that long ago that he fought for the title.
Didn't he just have a big win though, like this summer? Like he's still like relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stipe beat him as one of his alleged 3 wins.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or it was the fight that got him to the title shot, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, either way, like the heavyweights kind of stick around forever, but Junior, I don't know. I can't see him ever being champion again. Like he's still good.
He beat Stipe though, right?
Yeah, he did. I think
they're 1-for-1, right?
That's what Junior wants to. That's like a Chis Weidman argument on why he should get a title shot because he won a fight 8 years ago.
Yeah, and then Stipe knocked him out. So, all right. Well, that pretty much sums that up. Like, I think I'm gonna try and like really watch this card, and hopefully there's some early stuff that we can go over and.
Well, it's from Australia, so it's gonna be middle of the day, also like a China card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. But the last time, the one that they did with Ronda when she was fighting in Australia, they just made the Australians have to get up at 5 a.m. to watch the fights.
Yeah.
But that's different. That was Ronda.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, this card is mostly Australian fighters. Like, this is for the Sydney crowd.
For the goon sacks.
Yeah, the gooners.
All right, well, fuck, man.
Yeah, let's
is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right, guys. Like I said last week, if you're in the GTA, Tag In Sports is having our big Christmas dodgeball tournament. There's going to be lots of fun games, and it's pretty cheap to enter. You're guaranteed 4 games. Check out the app to find updates for it. I'll be posting on social media. We just got confirmed for the venue and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And if anybody out there is rich and wants to buy RJ a plane ticket so he can come play. And
when does it start?
We'll live podcast. It's December 15th.
Fuck, I won't be back at all. I'm thinking about coming back for New Year's, though.
Oh, that'd be fun, man. We could watch the New Year's card together.
My visa is up here, like December 28th, I think.
Like 2 years ago.
And I don't want to overstay my visa again. So I'm like I have to decide this week. Like, am I coming back to Canada or am I going to go to like Bulgaria or Turkey or some other fucking shithole country near here? We'll see.
I think I know what you're gonna do. You're probably gonna go to some other shit.
Yeah,
you could check out like Newfoundland or something.
I want to just avoid winter though. Like winter sucks.
Oh, I know, dude.
Like it snowed here on Monday and it fucking sucked, and then all the snow melted because it started raining all week, and then this weekend was like cold, but only like 5 degrees. So like I was just out skateboarding all weekend at the skate park, and it's like I can do this. So,
dude, it's been hell. Everybody's in a bad mood.
Yeah, I can't do that shit, man. I'm too old.
Three people have called me crying this week, and it's like over different stuff. But I know it's the winter. It just gets to people, man. Like it's so hard to even just like walk out the door in the morning and be excited about anything because it's just It's oh man, it gets
just
to your
drains
bones,
you. Yeah,
man.
it just takes out all
And
the hope.
the older you get, the worse. Like you're not excited to go. Like I don't fucking care about snowboarding and shit anymore, man. Like I just want it to be warm.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So
it's
I'm looking at
like
fucking Turkey. Istanbul sounds like it's probably doesn't have winter. Like,
God damn it! I hope I that wasn't supposed to talk you out of coming home. Please come home. I miss you.
Okay, well let's wrap up for
If
UFC Fight Night 142. There's so many fight nights, but
Yeah,
Tag
I
in
don't know. The
Sports.
UFC
Yeah.
website doesn't have a number on here,
No, I have
so
to
fuck.
Google that in a
Oh,
separate window to find out what its title is. Fucking UFC website.
also, if on the next episode we're gonna put up um an email to send us some questions about fights.
Oh, that's a
If
good
there's
idea.
any like certain up and coming fights that you want us to talk about, or any drama going on, or like you just want to chime in and you call us homos or whatever, just we'll put up an email and we'll try and get to some topics. And also, we're still looking for that song
Oh yeah.
to get this thing started and ended. I've got one friend in mind who's in a band, but I'd like it to be a random to send in a song.
Crowdsourcing? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it would be great. But until then, you just get to hear our fucking lovely voices send you off and welcome you to the YouTube show, not podcast.
Not podcast, not podcast.